Thank you all for being here. So, again, a lot of things have been discussed this morning, afternoon rather, with regards to accountability and needing more clarity. So, can you all reflect on what is, or maybe describe what reporting mechanisms or requirements were in place prior to the transition to PPL, and what reporting mechanisms are in place currently to your knowledge? Whoever wants to,
I, e- Reporting as far as what?
like, just like information you were required to provide to the state
Yeah.
about, enrollment, overall, kind of reporting things that you were required.
Yeah. There were not a lot of requirements from the state. Obviously, every year we submit a cost report. That contains a lot of information about how many consumers we have, how many aides we have, what counties they're in, and so forth. Any other information that was requested by the state, we would give them. But once again, they would have to request it. Any information that was requested by an MLTC, at different times, they might request information about certain people on the program, but truthfully, not that much. We're audited whenever they came in, they checked our records, we always passed with flying colors, we always had our physicals and all of that.
Can I interject just to ask a clarifying question? You were audited by DOH?
We've been audited by the OMIG. We've been audited by almost every single plan. Recently, we've been audited by HHS on our EVV system. And just the other day, I was audited by Nassau County. So yeah, we're audited.
So it's not that you all, I guess I'm trying to make a point of this idea or notion that there was no way of knowing who was actually administering the program, how they were doing it.
Yeah.
What I'm potentially hearing from you, at least from your standpoint, is that you were providing information to DOH and whomever else, whether it was through an audit or most certainly
Right.
through a request.
Any time the information was requested, and once again, we repeatedly asked the state to come up with a licensure procedure because we saw what was happening, to come up with some way to control the growth of the amount of FIs that were coming in. In my testimony, which I went off script on, but you'll see that there were 5 FIs up until 2010 in Nassau County. By 2013-14, there were over 300. Okay? What you might think, why I'm in Nassau and Suffolk County, I have 300 people. I got cannibalized by all these companies coming in. So, although I believe that the single FI model is not great, do I think we need 700 FIs? Absolutely not.
It just seems apparent to me that folks who have been participants in this program in terms of providers have in fact been complying and doing the work and somehow have been lumped in
Yes.
with those who have created the experience for some folks, unfortunately, of being having fraud or abuse happen. My last question goes to reimbursement. It is my understanding that reimbursement that's been offered to our ILCs is less than what they received under the previous iteration of the program. Has DOH shared with you, or are they taking any steps to make your organizations or others who may be experiencing this, to your knowledge, whole?
So there is a plan to provide state grants to the 11 ILCs, but that was intended to be temporary funding to sort of bridge us through this process. The difficulty we're having is PPL is not referring people to us. CDR submitted a capacity plan that said we could serve 11,000 people in July of this year. We have less than 1,000. They are not referring people to us, and they have told us point blank that the issue is they have concerns about things that we and our state association have said about them. So what they're looking for is compliance, and as opposed to competence. We are extremely competent at this work, and we are good advocates. We understand the issues. They don't like that, and they've made that clear, and they're showing it by who they're not sending to us. And honestly, by contract, they're required to recommend people to us. Our contract is different. They're supposed to recommend up until we hit the level of our capacity plan. And they are not doing that. My thing to you is, I would pay attention. If they're ignoring the terms of the contracts with us, what are they doing with the contract that they have with you?
Thank you. Again, I want to thank you all for being here. I have ILCs in my district, and again, these are folks who have been doing this work for a very long time and have been doing a good job. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator.